Hello, can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Let me see if I do it. I'm trying to adjust things. Let me see. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you tell? Can you say if you can hear me? Because I don't see if my microphone. Okay. Thank you. Hey everyone. Nancy is here, Joe is here, Radish and Rue. And Neela is here. Hello. Petra is here. Hey Morvin. Akanshka. So I I don't even know how to start. I'll just ease myself in, I guess, because I haven't done a live stream in such a long time on YouTube. Only in like very private classes or just casual. So going back or being back on YouTube is strange, but we'll just roll with it. Yuma says, "Great to see you again. I felt like ages since we last spoke." Yeah. If you've followed me on Instagram or Facebook, I've been sharing from time to time. After 2 years, no, it was not 2 years. It was, I think, a year, and then between I came on to also to chat. And today I wanted to just talk about certain things that I seen some of you were asking me about, or just something I noticed a while ago already, and that's finding your style. And I feel like, I mean, there are so many different ways how you can. I'm trying. Okay, let me talk to the camera to the somewhere. I'm not on Zoom, right? Because there are so many different things or different ways how you can talk about style and how to find the style. But I'm talking more about, or to those who are struggling to find the style and feeling bad about it. And I mean, if you, for example, just paint and you just don't worry about it at all, you just paint and experiment and you're totally happy with that, that's amazing. Today I wanted to talk about like to everyone who is trying to find their style, because I've seen a lot of, like some people were saying that they're sad about it, they struggle with that, they just not feeling happy. And that's what I want to address. And I have around 5 things I wrote down that I wanted to talk about, but we will see how it goes. And I didn't write a script or anything like that, because I'm just trusting myself that whatever has to come out will just come out. And I'm just seeing where it goes. So if you listen and you resonate with some of the things, or if you have questions, we can discuss as I'm talking about all the things. And so the first thing is, our brain is like a meaning making machine, and we like to create meaning around things like I don't have a style, so my art is not great, or I don't belong between those other artists, or I'm still not good enough, I can still not see myself as an artist, or I'm not. You come from a place of not good enough, and this is what our brain literally does to us sometimes, because we like to focus on all the things that we don't have yet, or that we haven't achieved yet, or that we're still not yet. It's like when people would say, I'm not pretty because I still suffer with this skin problem, or I'm still like, still haven't lost those 5 pounds or 10 pounds or how many, or I'm still like haven't figured this out. And we always focus on this. That's still, that we forget about focusing on what we already have now, and realizing that if we only focus on what we don't have, or that what we want, we always chase, and we always come from a place of we're still not good enough, we're still not there yet, and we feel bad about ourselves and about our skills, about anything. And I think this was crucial for me to realize, because I was talking to someone, and she was asking me questions, and I was like, what do you mean, like I don't understand. And but it hit me that, like, what if we already have what we want? Like, what if this is the dream life, that maybe this is the dream art style we have, the dream life that we, or everything, like everything is perfect the way it is, and you at some point wanted that. But if you only focus on, but I still don't have that, and it's still, but and when I have that, then I will be happy, or I will see myself as an artist. Like, for example, as I mentioned with style, I feel like so many people are, including me, were so focused, or are still so focused on finding the style, because they feel like once they have the style, then they certain like made it, or they finally can consider themselves an artist. People will see them as an artist, they can finally share their art because now it's a certain thing. And but in reality, we'll never hit this point where we feel like, okay, now it's the time, now I have the style. Maybe you can also in the chat like describe how, what it would look like if you already had a style. What would it mean? Like, how can you, when will you know that you have a style? You can let me know in the chat. Keep PR says, I get so sad when I finish my art pieces. Like, I'm disappointed, but it isn't even a bad piece. Do you ever feel like that? Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's when we are focusing on something very abstract, or something that we don't like, something we always like, there's always something that's not, doesn't click for us. Sometimes we forget we weren't even able to draw at all at some point. Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes you didn't even know like what, or how to mix a color, or how to create this specific painting. And if you look at whatever you already created, and you look through all the patterns, how you painted, what you painted, maybe use a color a lot, maybe use a lot of colors, maybe use like only one color, or very minimalistic, maybe it was always bold, or maybe more minimalistic and subtle and very like, I don't know how to describe, like something more um like subtle, yeah, I guess. You will notice that you already have a style. And this is where I think the struggle comes from, or the suffering, that we think that we don't have a style. And we always like treat it as something, as we have something that we've lost, and now we try to find it. Like we paint and paint, or we do this and that, and we try, like, where's, like, when will I finally have this style? And again, we're coming from a place of still not good enough, still not there yet, still chasing something. And you will notice that you will never reach this point, like, because you don't even know how to, when will you know you have a style? Like, what what do you need to create to see, okay, this is a style? Because I feel like sometimes we're so blind to that. Yuma says style is something that develops as you learn more about art, and once you learn more about art and see more art styles from other artists, to me, that is what I have heard some of my artist friends say. Petra says, being satisfied with a painting that was my idea, but not just a copy. I hesitate to paint without tutorial or reference. Yeah, so when do you know you are satisfied with the painting? Even if you, because we will talk more about that, about copying. Um, I don't think we necessarily have to think about style. I think it's something natural. My painting will never be like yours. It'll be automatically in my style if I paint it. Right. Even if you, I think this is one of the things, like if some people think that if they copy someone's tutorial or follow a certain artist, it will be just a copy. And some people can totally do that, but I think I can't copy my own paintings. Like if you if you one of the tealies and or just follow me when I shared my paintings, when I painted them 5 times, like they're everything looked different. And it's just like in this moment I was in this mood, or in this moment I was painting it, my body was moving a different way, or I don't know. um but you'll still have your own signature, your own little thing, like how it looks. And we are so, like I said, we are so blind to that. And the moment that I realized was when I was talking with a friend, and she had like this, she was also an artist, and she had some kind of crisis, art crisis. I think every artist goes through art crisis where they're questioning everything. And she was saying that, well, I'm painting only this way, or this is boring, and like nothing, this and that, and I hate that, and I want to like do this and maybe that, it's everything the same. And I'm like, I was looking at your art and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I would love to have like a cohesive theme, a cohesive things of painting. And she was like, no, I will look at your art. And I was like, you have all the different things. And I just realized like we all have these we always see things that others are doing, and we think that, oh, this is so much better, or I should be doing that, or my art should be that. And in reality, everyone who is still searching, I feel like we 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 again, like we don't realize that what we have is already amazing. And when I was like still trying to figure out like what is my style, what how can I paint that, um maybe I should maybe more sophisticated, more maybe, I don't know. Like I was just trying, and I had it in some of my sketchbooks. And one of my artist friends, she looked through my sketchbooks and was like saying, "This is not you." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then I realized as we talked more that I had already a style, and she noticed that she saw the patterns in my art, and she saw it exactly as someone from the sides, not because we are so close to what we do that we don't see anything. And I realized I have a style because I thought I'm still looking for it. Like I don't have found it yet, and apparently I already had one. And that was something where it's like, wow, this was new to me, because in my head I kind of knew that, yeah, everyone has a style, but seeing that someone else like found that I had a style was, and that when I realized that, wow, I had not realized that I already had some style also. Um, uh, that's why art is so unique. Even if you see a reference or try to find a tutorial, it will always come out differently from what someone else did. I have learned myself to accept that. Um, totally agree with, yeah. I don't know why people get so hung up on this arbitrary concept of finding your style. I paint a lot more from classes than I do independently, but they always look like I painted them because of things I subconsciously always do, or colors I use, or whatever. I think the thought of I can find my style is just another manifestation. Yeah, it's like we focus on the thing, and we creating a problem where there's no problem, because like I said, our brain likes to um, it's like if it's easy, it's like there's something wrong with that. We need to make it super hard on ourselves. And if there's no problem, our brain likes to look for problems. It's like when you tell yourself, I don't have a style, and I still don't have that, or I can't paint, I'm not talented, or my paintings are awful, or things like that. And we have this reality, the model of reality, and then our brain just looks for confirmation to validate what we already think. So if we think the whole time we suck, our art is awful, I'm not talented, automatically, and we don't even notice that, our brain just goes and looks for evidence, like, I see this didn't work, I see I didn't get a like on Facebook, I see no one noticed that, or I still haven't, like, my still, I don't know, just all these little things, our brain just goes and looks to validate our view of ourselves. And this is so easy to get trapped, like Leanne was saying, that we just create what we focus on. If you focus the whole time that everyone is an awful person and everything is awful, or everything is just going the wrong way, then of course everything will just be, because we keep focusing on all of that, and we create more of that. And if you think about, everything is amazing, there's so many loving people, and today will be an amazing day, you will create that, because your brain won't go and find awful people to validate your already, like, your way of thinking. And this is with the art as well. Like, if you look at, for example, if you scroll through Instagram and then you find someone like with amazing art, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, maybe I should do that, and see my art is still like not good enough, or just like, just spiral down and just create all these stories that don't really serve us. Let me make it a little brighter here. No, that's not the wrong thing. um Keep it casual here. So Eliana says, of the same fear that I can't find my style is just another manifestation of the same fear that says I'm not an artist, or I can't do this. Brain making stuff up to discourage you because you're afraid of failure. Just paint the thing, yo. Exactly. I mean, like, this is I was thinking about um talking about explicitly about how our brain is just influences our life, our paintings. And I always connected with art because this is what I do, but I also just want to talk about that as a standalone thing, because it goes into all the direction, not just art. um, what else do we have? I always sketch when I find the time. The idea is inside my thoughts. I need to act, I need to motivate myself. Let's encourage one another to paint. Fighting, you don't have to fight. I think we will talk more about it. I feel like, I mean, we just started, and I have so much to say still. That's why I think that's why I'm here live, because we can casually hang out and chat. And I feel like if I'm just by myself talking to a camera and write a script and then edit that, it's just not the same. Um, if you like a lot of styles and draw them all, I don't think that what we should just do one. For now, it's what I do and it works for me. I stuck with sunset. I'm stuck with sunset. Um, so to sum it up, the number one mistake that we need to be aware of is that, or like the thing that I made the mistake, and I think a lot of people are not aware of the fact, is that we already have a style, and believing that we don't have is just creates this suffering that, like Leanne was saying, that we are afraid to fail, because it will just mean that we are still not good enough, that we won't fit in, that what's the point. And also from the feeling that we won't fit in, because people love, or not love, it's in our nature. We want to feel safe, we want to feel like we belong, and we don't want to, like, like, kicked out of the tribe. So creating this feeling of being good enough will help us to feel that we're good enough and no one will kick us out. So just being aware of that, I think it's super important. And um, yeah, I think this is where everything stems from. Just realizing that your art is already good enough, that you already have a style because you already used certain patterns. You can see a pattern in all of your art that you already created. And yeah, and the other thing is it will come up again. Like you will still like your brain, if you're in the habit of saying I'm still don't have a style, or my art is not that great, I'm just copying other people or this and that, when it will come up and will continue saying that, and you need to catch yourself and be aware, no, 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 like I'm not listening to that. It's not like, it's not me, it's just this monkey brain somewhere talking, and it's just trying to keep me safe, so I don't fail, so I'm not don't look stupid. And yeah, being aware, like when do you know you have a style, like how will it look like? Because we said if you continue chasing, we will never feel like we have it figured out. And let's see here. Style doesn't even exist. Just create something new and be happy with it. That's what art should be. Exactly. After struggling 3 years, I know now that I like watercolor most. Thank you, Cheese. Thanks to you, Mako. Aw. Um, will you start a series where you will teach us to paint? I have done all your tutorials and really need more inspiration. It's like, this is where the thing that I stopped posting so many tutorials on YouTube is because I felt like my art is not it's not growing, because on YouTube, for example, it seems like only certain videos perform or certain things are getting shown to the subscribers, and it feels like you kind of have to act or create your art inside a box, and you just continue doing the same thing. You get bored, your art is not going anywhere, and you feel like you're not evolving. So I had like, that's why I created some other classes, like my retreats where I had more advanced classes, or in my private membership where I just paint something that I like just enjoy painting, or I just try to figure out how can I do it, and I teach it, because I like my painting, like to create a painting, it's not like 5 minutes or 10 minutes like you see on YouTube. It takes a few hours sometimes, and I feel like YouTube doesn't allow it like it doesn't really allow um to just focus on creating art. And I feel like this is where one part of the burnout came from. um and the other thing is, let me see what I wrote, because I had some notes, but I also don't want to, because my brain can go into 5 million directions and have like a million sentences at once. Um, what else do we have here? Yeah, like we already discussed in the chat, is that if the mistake is that we're focused on finding the style, like we something that we've lost and we need to find it, but it's just a pattern of what we created, and it will always evolve and it will always change. So why beating ourselves up for like not having it, still not having it, still not unique enough or whatever? Because if you constantly chase like this outside thing, you will never feel like we are good enough. And one of the conversations I had is about finding your style, is that in order to find it, or to be, or just accept, or just be okay, just see that this is what I paint, this is what I do. Maybe it's completely all over the place, or maybe it's a certain way and I still like don't feel like it's good enough or something like that. It all comes down to just getting to know yourself better. And because it's so easy to look for like these shiny ways of doing things, like or shiny art on Instagram where you feel like, oh, maybe I should paint that, maybe I should do that, and then you kind of, or you see something is popular, especially on Instagram, like it's so easy to lose yourself, or to not even, because I always say that art should be your the extension of yourself, something where you, this is me, this is who I am, this is how I paint, and this is how I feel, and this is what sparks me joy. And I think this is where we need to go towards, and really think about, wait a second, like my art is not the extension of who I am, it's an extension of other people, or because I try to mimic someone, or I try to create art that's popular, or do stuff that performs well on Instagram or whatever, um, instead of really tuning in and thinking about what does spark joy, what do I like, and really tuning into that and getting to yourself know better. Because um, sometimes you can also get so bored painting the same thing, and because it's not what you want to paint now anymore, or you just haven't challenged yourself in a while, and or you just, it's not your style, like it's something that you saw someone do and maybe it doesn't spark joy. And I hope you understand like what I mean. I'm sometimes all over the place, but I think it's important to, instead of focusing on finding, but focus more on rediscovering, just really tuning in, what do you want to create, like what do you like, what do you want to see more of. And the same is um like if you ask, like I don't know what to paint, like I have no idea what to paint, I struggle finding things to paint, or I don't want to just copy something, or I don't know, think about what do you want to see more of. Because sometimes you might feel uninspired to create because everything seems like everyone's copying each other, and everything looks started to look similar because everyone's following the same tutorials, or everyone creates popular art because it's popular, and then everyone's just trying to kind of like create art that will be seen because it's popular. But instead of that, like think about like what do you want to see more of, and you will realize that certain art, it might look completely advanced, or completely where you feel like it's completely, I would never be able to paint or something like that. But look at it and think like, why does it spark joy? Like why do you like it? Was there something element, maybe the colors, maybe instead of painting it in these colors, maybe this is what you are more drawn to, because this is really inside of you. And having this space and really this clarity, I think it helps so much to be more intentional about what you create. Because if you just follow tutorials and like trying to like paint and paint and paint, trying like, okay, how many tutorials do I need until I find my style, you just uh are again spiraling down and feeling like you're stuck because it's not going anywhere. Um, but when you are more intentional about it, like if I mean, if you just want to paint and just like have fun and you don't like, it's totally okay. Like if you like just paint whatever you want, like you don't if this whatever you paint brings you joy, it's amazing. Because this is what art is all about, just having fun, expressing yourself in whatever way you want, and removing this thing about chasing a style, looking for it, and treating it as something as if we lost, but more tuning in into what do I want, like what do I want to create. Um, I will. What I love about watercolor is that I can be affordable now for years and years. Yes. Tristan says everyone has their own style and it changes over time as you learn new techniques. Even if everyone paints the same picture, everyone still makes their painting look different. Yes. I mean, this is like, that's why we can go in so many directions, because um, if some people really are so hung up on copying our tutorial, where they really focus on, okay, how can I make it exactly like I see it in the tutorial, and when it doesn't look like the finished painting, they beat themselves up, because it's not this, it doesn't look as amazing as in the video or someone else's painting. And this is again this comparison that this is amazing, but this is not, because it's not good enough. And if you come with this intention, it's all about intention. Like, what is your intention to create art? Is it to be famous, to get all the likes on Instagram, or do you really want to explore your creativity and how you want to create, um, how you could capture the world in your way? And if you, for example, just copy and really force it to be exactly like this person's painting, then you just, again, you just, yeah, you just get yourself into, again, the struggle and suffering position, and just lose all the fun in art. But if you treat the tutorial more as, okay, I really like how this person uses these colors, or I really like how they created these trees, or this effect here, or how they used, like, just little things, little details, and intentionally learning them so you can use those in your painting. This is a whole different thing. And it's not about just, okay, I'm here to copy it and it better be good, it better be the same. But instead of doing that, you focus on, it's so amazing how this person painted this. How did they do that? And when you learn that, it's your art doesn't become exactly like this person's. You just learn a new technique, and as Tristan was saying, you will just know in your the back of your head how to do that. But it doesn't mean like you need to do it this way. You could use this trick in your next painting, combine different elements from different artists, from how you discovered something is amazing. And this happens also when I just test out ideas. I'm i'm like trying out different ways of painting something, and I realize, oh, I actually like this element here because it looks a certain way. Like, I really like how the colors I don't know, blend here, but I also like this dry brush in this area. Maybe I could use that in my next one. And so it kind of develops, like you develop your own little toolkit, how you create art. And yeah, it grows and grows and develops. Sometimes you don't want to do it anymore, something like you just take it out and throw it away and continue doing what you already do, or you fill it up with new things, and then it will be again a new mix of different things. I found recently that I love painting nature with a little bit of touch of abstract in that. Yeah, just, and also just look for, like, what's your intention, like what is your energy around when you create art. If your energy is, I'm doing this because I find my art sucks and I need to be better because I'm not good enough, you already have set the intention to just, just, I don't even know, like, what would the intention would be, just finding your self-worth in that. And this is not what art is about. It's about, I guess I said, I keep repeating myself, but it's so important. It's about just creating art, expressing yourself, and exploring it with curiosity. I think this is the main thing, that curiosity, not from a place of not feeling good enough, still not this and that, and this low energy, low vibration type of feeling. Out of that, you find, like, oh, this is amazing, how could I do that, oh, looks interesting, and oh, this didn't work out how I wanted, but I actually like how this looks here. And you continue finding. That's why I think I love learning so much and discovering, because more things make more sense, and I see things differently. I shape my worldview a certain way because I get to discover different things. And yeah, it's just like this whole, because it never gets boring, because you constantly discover things and continue um, discovering yourself and getting yourself better. I think this is what also this whole year off really taught me, is that when we are, like, when we are born and we start painting or start being like just 1 year old, 2 years old, we have so much fun. Like, we do all sorts of things. We paint, we are not afraid, we do all the things. But the older we get, the more we put on all the little things that people are say or expect us to do. So it's kind of like we're putting all these clothes on, and then you put, I need to behave this way. I need to be this way if I want to be considered good. I need to be look this way, then I will be pretty. I need to do this, and this is how you behave. This is how you think. This is what you do, and this is what you should do. And you carry all this like 10 million layers of clothes that someone gave you, that this is how you should live your life. And then you realize, wait a second, like, why am I carrying this? It's not who I am. And realizing that just just removing all of this one layer at a time, you you move yourself back to knowing yourself again. Like, you get yourself to know better, you remember who you really are. And this is, I think, crucial to when you create art as well, because if you try to create art for validation, or to find your place among all the other artists, or yeah, just all these outside things, you kind of disconnect completely from yourself, and you lose yourself again, and then you struggle, like, who am I, like, what am I even doing here, and you start questioning everything. And just, yeah, I kind of lost this my train of thought here. But but about intention, just really, really treat it just like a language when you learn a new technique or learn from other artists, not as something where you need to, like, when you used to bash yourself because your art is still not good enough and why it's not looking like this other person's, but more using the tools and techniques you learn as just like a language. Like, you need to first you learn words, then how to write those. You make mistakes how you write them, then you learn about grammar, you how to create sentences, how to create essays with all these words and sentences, and or maybe how to create a poetry. This is just a language. So just, again, use the curiosity and just have fun and explore how you want to express yourself. Because I also see lots of people are saying, I want to express myself, I don't know how. And I think this is, again, comes from not tuning into to your own self, and not exploring all the ways how you could explore, how you could express yourself. Let me see, how is it making sense so far? Can you relate to all the things that I'm saying? um See here, Yoli says, I agree that you can get bored, so you break up the monotony by doing something new that challenges you creatively. Yeah, like you will, like, for example, I avoided painting portraits for the longest time, and then I was like, okay, let's just go to this class. I had like no expectation. I was like, just I will just have a good time there. I will chat with other artists. I will just see what will happen and just like learn new things. And I was surprised that I can actually create something. Like, I could create a portrait. Like I have one here, but it's too far away to get it. But um, it's just like discovering, hey, I can actually create something like that. It's always exciting. Hello says, in art class, I was taught how to copy art to learn techniques, and all I got out of these classes how to replicate art. Um, yeah, I think this is what the fear is, that if you copy another artist, you will just create replicas, and it's a counterfeit, and it's not you. But I think if the teacher would emphasize that, no, it's not about you becoming the next Picasso or your next Monet or something. It's not just about learning how these people are seeing the world, how they used their tools, and how they uh, use their tools to create certain things. Because if you try to learn everything in a vacuum, it's also sometimes hard to develop your own style, because then you don't know how to do certain things. And I think this is so beneficial to your, just to fill your toolbox with how you can express yourself is so important, but not as an like you said, like don't just to copy, but more so to put more ways how you can create art. It's like when you have a conversation with someone and you have totally different worldviews, for example, or you have five different people and everyone thinks differently. It's not about who is right here, but it's more about, tell me your point of view, tell me how you see the world. Okay, this is where you're coming from, I see it. So it's kind of like, this is why we read books, or you learn, I don't know, I learn a lot about different philosophers and different philosophies and different different yeah, definitions of different things. And it's just it just helps you to understand the world better, but also see that there are different ways how you can think or see the world. And it's not about who is right or wrong, but more like, you have all of this and you can then create your own view of things, how you think, how you want to think. And not because someone says this is what you need to do, but more like, okay, I see what you do, I see what you're saying, and I see what you're saying. I will think about it and kind of evaluate what I see, and then I will just do or think what I decide to do. So it's exactly the same with art. Just because you learn something, or you see someone does, it doesn't mean you have to uh, yeah, just continue that and just copy. It's just like a tool, and you can use it, you don't have to use it, maybe change it up. um I think that we refer to a style is actually branding. It's what makes your art recognizable, marketable. So if you're just making art for fun, you might not even need that. Yeah, like if but I think still, like if uh, even if you just paint for fun, I think sometimes it's so easy to slip into, especially now with social media. You shared your art somewhere and then you realize, oh, no one commented, or my account is not growing, uh, or no one said something nice. Because sometimes it's so easy to slip back into this validation and seeing like, am I on the right track here? Um, in the branding, like we said, like patterns, like what has been your pattern so far? Mm. Ioli says, I felt like that yesterday, but had to realize that I may not be able to replicate that same artwork another. It's okay. You're such inspiration. Oh, thank you. Um, and what the heck? Carrie says, I've spent hundreds of dollars on watercolor products because I love the look of watercolor and something I really want to learn, but for some reason I just can't get the hang of watercolor. Yeah, it's like Francis says, it's don't worry, you just haven't found the right way to learn yet. I would just recommend learning with Miko. Oh, thank you, Francis. um yeah, that's why I created the roadmap course, because I seen so many people were struggling and gave up, and I realized like it's not that difficult. Like if you learn the foundations and know how to navigate and how to use those, it will be like, oh my gosh, like it makes total sense. Like I know how to use it now. And then you still have to practice, because because you know the science behind stuff or how things work doesn't mean you're kind of already uh, just in your sleep can do everything. mm, the answers, investing in supplies is one thing, but you're better off investing in proper teaching, and there's no one better for that than make. Oh, thank you, Leanne. um the TDs are here. Like this is what I also love is that the other thing was, one of the mistakes is that as artists we on the one hand we want to belong, but at the same time we are afraid to not like don't we are afraid to feel like we don't fit in, like we don't want to feel inadequate. And I feel like surrounding yourself with people who also like artists or also learn, and just surround yourself with supportive people, you realize that art can be so much fun. Like you can create art and explore and get feedback and really just get this fun back. Not It's not just like about, okay, how can I improve my art, how can I elevate my art, how can I find my style, and you're just so in your head that by yourself, watching tutorials, feeling like you're still not going anywhere. Because if you're by yourself, where your brain starts to creating all these stories, and there's all the ways to feel yourself bad, because you're just like, it keeps wants to keep you safe, and reaching out to other people, it's like, no, it's what if they will laugh at you, what will if you don't fit in. And I think this is a lot of the things that I see. Uh, People are afraid to share their art because they are afraid that they won't fit in, because their art is not as good as someone else's, and they never share their art. They might are in the group or something, or they learn by themselves, but they just wait for the moment until their art is better. And I feel like this is you're missing out on so much connection. And you also realize that no one really cares how good you paint or not, because it's all about having fun, and connecting with other people, and just doing something together, and fun, and learning together. I think this is, and one of those people who grew up everything, like I got was raised as someone who, you can do it yourself, like you should be doing it yourself, you can do it yourself. And so everything was, no, I can figure everything myself out, like I can do it myself. And asking for help or reaching out for someone, like, just just you try to look on YouTube, how can I do that. You try yourself, because in your head, like, I should be doing this by myself, I should figure it out myself, because I don't want to ask for help, or I don't like, it's just so ingrained that it's so difficult. But like I said, it's so much more fun and rewarding, and you discover how fun things can be, and how easy things can be when you surround yourself with people who are doing similar things, who are um, just creating this safe and happy environment for you to thrive. um, like Frances, for example, she's like, oh, the camera fell asleep, 1 second. I don't know. I still haven't figured out why my camera falls asleep. But she's Frances, for example. She was surrounded by all the supportive people, in I think it started in the retreats, and then in the membership, and now she's like have her commissions lined up and everything, and she's like, no, this is art is what I want to do. Let's see here. I think art is the way you describe and interpret the world you see, and how you transfer your idea. Yeah, so it's like, it's why, just because you use a reference, it doesn't mean you just copy it. You can use it as a guideline, or not guideline, but something to reference to, and then you can think about, how can I, if I have this picture, how can I turn it into something of my own, how can I make it more interesting, not get hung up, okay, I see this green color here, how can I mix it, but more like, okay, this green, it's so boring here, it's so pale, let me make it bright, let's make this world brighter, let's make um how can I make everything my way, and better. It's not about copying the reference, because you already have the picture, you already have a photograph of things, like why would you then just use that to create a copy of that. um JTC, sometimes it's just important to create just to get a happier place, not to share with the world, not get a click, just to create pain like no one's watching. Yeah, exactly. And I grew up without social media, and there was no, like, you just painted, you just had fun, you learned, and there was no way of sharing it online, you just painted that. And I think this is where the unhealthy relationship came from, when you're now exposed to all the people, to the social media that tries to really um, create this unhealthy relationship with everything. Like, people start posting just because they want to stay active on Instagram, because Instagram will then bury their posts because they don't post. So they post just to post, and not because they are feeling inspired to create and inspired to share. So like, this is what was also huge for me, just to step back from YouTube, because I was so afraid that if I stop posting, that I don't know, just everything will explode, and all the 10 years or more that I put into it will just be a waste of, not waste, but like would be for nothing, because everything would just fall apart. But I think this was the much needed break that I needed to really get the space in figuring out what do I want to do. And I realized I want to just create art for for fun, and create the art that I want to create, and not something that this is what performs on the channel, or this is what people are asking, um, because then I will burn out myself again. This is why I create those retreats where I felt like I got this hint where I was like, I just want to paint, and this is what I create, and if someone wants to paint it with me, you're more than welcome. But it's not about, okay, let me see that the analytics of my channel and then decide what I will paint. And this is, I think, a very unhealthy relationship. Yep. It's just paint and paper. Big up to the Tealies, our awesome virtual art community. Yes, I'm so grateful for everyone, uh, especially my Tealies, because they were witnessing me in this break, and also were just encouraging me to just be myself, and just be, not think, just create what I want to create, and everything will be fine. Until fam. Yes. Let me see what I also wrote here. Uh, um, yeah, and that's why I guess I'm so upset about, not upset. So I wrote something here about that. That's why I'm so obsessed with the tea leaves, because it's just showed that. So if you don't know, that Teal is the membership I created last year after one of the retreats I did, and it's just it's just so amazing when you have people around you, even if it's just virtually. I mean, we hang out sometimes on Zoom and we paint together. I do classes, but it's so amazing to just have this creative bubble where everyone is so loving and supportive, and you can feel safe. You can share whatever. You can ask questions, and everyone is just lifting you up. um, and it's so important, especially when you're an artist. I think having people like in your life that are doing similar things, or just understand you, because I grew up with people who uh, didn't really understand that I wanted to become an artist, or that I wanted to become um, become my own boss, because this is unsafe, it's risky, this is difficult, this and that, you'll be starving artist, this and blah blah. And everyone who pursued something as a self employed person, they always came back to our job. And I feel like the last 2 years showed that nothing is safe, like nothing is secure. Like you someone can fire you the next day, and you're like, okay, so now, like, okay. Or like, and that's why I feel like, as an artist, if you are have this something in you that I just want to create art, I want to um pursue that. I don't know if it will work out, but I don't want to regret that. I want you to see. And sometimes, because I feel like, if you already have this thought to become an artist, and you are just a little scared how this will work, but you have this urge, I think you already have what it takes to become an artist. Because I didn't understand what people meant by that when they said that earlier, because some in the past people would say, you already have what it takes. If you already have the thought about becoming someone, like, I want to become an artist, a full-time artist, or I want to start a business and sell, I don't know, sparkly paint or something like that, and you want to become your own boss, then if you already have this thought, it means that you already have what it takes. Because people who don't don't have this almost innate desire or urge to do that, they will say, oh no, it's not for me, no, I don't think I don't want that, it's not really worth it. I'm like, I'm happy with what I do, like I have my job here and it's fine with me, I don't want to stress about that. Maybe I could, but no, I don't know. But if you are like this person who's like, I don't want to, I don't this is everything that life's like, this is everything to life, this is you finish school and then you go to a job you hate and then you what, work until you retire. And for me, in the early years I was like, when I was working in different places, I was like, how can people sit here for 16 years and do that, like, because it was not. And I mean, we need people who to do all the different things, and some people are super happy about that, so it's not like I'm not judging or anything like that, it's just personal, seeing if you have this already kind of thinking that, is this everything to life, I don't like, I want to explore life, I want to do something that is an extension of who I am. And again, coming back to finding yourself, realizing what do I want to do, like, because I had this thought a while ago when I was realizing there are so many bosses who force their people to work like crazy. They and in the end, like, you could be replaced in like the next day, and people are just so like so sucked up in, because they have to, like, it's how the environment is. But then I realized, I was thinking like, but what is all this point, like, why are all these big companies or workplaces are pushing everyone to, like, again, you need to reach all these numbers and you need to show to the stock market, whatever, investors, that you are doing well, so they invest in you and all of this, and you create this pressure, all of this work and all of this depression and then burnout, to for what, like, what's the end goal here, like, where are we going with that? And I was like what, like, why have we created such society where everyone is just like not everyone, but so many people are just so burnt out and unhappy. Like, what's the point of having all of this? Like, why have we created this environment? And I feel like as an artist, it's like, coming back to community, is that you everyone will tell you that you shouldn't be doing that, and this is hard, or like, why are you wasting your time? Like, I had like family members who would be like panic calling my other family members, and they're asking like, she's going to really continue, will be doing this for the rest of her life? Because at that time I was doing soap tutorials, and people and some were like shocked, like, this is what she's going to do for the rest of her life, like doing stuff like that. And they didn't realize that I was exploring myself, this is what actually people enjoyed, and it provided value, and this is what I was trying to, like, yeah, I was just doing. And I'm so happy that I had people that were saying, yeah, I'm also trying to pursue my own thing, and I am pursuing, um, because I also realized that no, I don't want to live like everyone else. Like, I want to create something where I'm happy, and I feel like, as that's why I also realized that we need to be the change we want to see in the world. And especially like, if, like, I try to always to relate to watercolor and art and stuff like that, because so many people have also families and they never have time to paint, and they have to work and they have to deal all of that. And I realized that, but the children are watching you, like, they see that you always just working, you never have hobbies or never have time for hobbies, and they will be like, oh, maybe this is how life is. So like, how, and then they grow up having no life work balance or whatever, because they maybe saw their parents be like that, and because this is the reality of their thought. And or seeing uh seeing other people like, no, I don't want to live like that, I want, how, like, as an artist, for example, I always encourage people to value their art and what they create, because if you value it, like, you show that, let's like, we are artists, we create something amazing, and we change the world for the better. Because if you have noticed, like, we probably go and watch like a Netflix show, or you read a book, you go to a museum. This is everything is created by an artist. So um, I feel like we forget that how valuable that is, and we can be part of that by um, just just following this urge that we have. Like, if you have this urge to just to create art, to remember who you are, and create art from a place of, this is who I am, this is what I want to be, and this is how what I want to see more of in the world. um yeah, so this, what else did I write down? um yeah, so here we were talking about figuring things on your own. Yeah, just it's so, I feel like, yeah, Francis, finding your why is so important. Do you paint for others' approval, or because painting brings you joy? Yeah. um I love your videos, glad you're back. um Jeanette says, love you, Mako, you're doing great, don't forget to suggest your road trips. uh yeah, so if you want to learn how to paint watercolors, like if you're a complete beginner, and yet some of you were in the chat, they were saying that they're struggling with just figuring out how to use those, and you have already all the great supplies but you're still struggling, really check out the roadmap course. And some of the people here went through it. And or if you are more advanced and you just want to advance your skills, I will have the retreat is coming back in October, and it will be different than I used to do it. So, but it's a great opportunity to advance your skills, and being surrounded by supportive people. And the link is in the description below, like the wait list, if you're interested. And the last thing was, we already kind of discussed it, but thinking that your art is like a static thing, like your art will always develop. And that's why it's important to just allow yourself to explore, and not feel like, okay, again, where's the energy coming from? Is it because you are trying to find your style because you're feeling not good enough, or is it from a place of curiosity? Because if you're from a place of curiosity, you're not feeling this rush or like this tension of, oh, when will I be good enough, when everything will be how I want, but more like, okay, I'm patient, let's discover, this is a journey. And I feel like this is so cliche, but when the people, or like I also say that it's also like it's not the destination, it's a journey. Because um, the only destination we all have, and this is kind of grim, but this is, someone said that to some of the people that I was around, like with, that the only destination we all have is death. This is the only destination that we all at the end have. And everything that we do is the journey. And we might as well, like, we really should focus on the journey, not chasing something, or um, worrying about, is this the right move, is this the right decision. Just a decision. Just move, explore, have fun, get yourself to know you better, and just have fun. I think this is the thing that really helped me to just evolve as a person, and my art, because everything is kind of connected. If you get to know yourself better, if you create this space for you to just reflect and be really in tune with who you are, who you want to be, everything will shine in everything you do. Because then you will live more intentionally, you will create art more intentionally, from a place of joy, from a place of peace, from feeling like you're good, and not from a place of, when I will finally feel a certain way, how I want to feel, but more create things and do things and say things and be things from a place of alignment with who you are. And And this will shine through your art immediately. Like when you start painting, you will not so worried like, is it good enough when I paint that, or if I do this? It's more like, no, this is who I am, and I'm exploring and I'm having fun. How do you find time for creating art? um, I think it's not a matter of finding time. It's a matter of making the time, because it's not like we not go around and ask people like, how how can I find the time to eat or brush my teeth, or uh, I don't know, something. We just do that because it's important, because it's something we need for survival, right? So it's important. So we don't wait for the moment we finally have time to, I don't know, drink some water, or brush our teeth, or eat something, go to the bathroom. We just go because it's what we need. Same with art. Like if it's something that you enjoy doing, is this what brings you joy, then this needs to be priorities. Like what are your values? Like how do you want to live your life? Do you want to feel stressed, and you feel like you need to achieve yourself to self-worth, and only then you can enjoy your life, because then you feel like you deserve all of this joy? Or do you want to just live a life from a place of just joy, then, or just in peace? Then you need to reevaluate where do you put your time into. And if, for example, your value is joy, if you look at your life, like what you do, is it aligned with your values? Because if your value is joy, then you will prioritize everything around it, and make everything work. And for example, I started meditating a while ago, like a few months ago, and in the beginning I was like only hearing people talk about it, and I scheduled it in the time blocks, and then I was like not moving it around because I was so focused on work. And then when I actually started doing it and realizing, wow, I feel so much more amazing afterwards, it became something that I needed to do. That I felt like like a tool that I always go back to if I feel like something's coming up, like an anxiety or a stress, or about like, because my brain goes into, I don't know, the future that doesn't exist. That I go and meditate, because this is important, because this is what grounds me and keeps me sane, and calms me down. So treating your hobby, treating what you do, what you enjoy, as something that, this is, I need that, this is something for my sanity, I need to do this, important, then you just make the time. Joe says, the watercolor roadmap course was so good, great small painting that even if you're crazy busy, you can find time to paint. Yeah, like this is what exactly, because I think one of the things people are afraid is that painting takes so much time, and it can, if you're in the flow. And I sometimes paint like for hours, but you don't really realize that it's been hours, because you're just so in the flow. Let me make this a little brighter. Oh, I'm like, my skin glows. So hot here. I brought some powder just to powder myself, because I use oils and stuff on my face and creams, but it's also so hot and everything just starts shining, and then I don't know if it's too much liquid. Oh, I just want some healthy glow, not some. I think that's a little better. And my makeup also melts. I think it's almost like 30 degrees in here. I think that's everything I said, what I want to say. And I think also it comes down to one of the last thoughts I had is we are so focused on finding our style and making it better, or finding ourselves, or just all of this outside thing that we don't really realize, that how we the art that we create is magical. Like we take like a blank piece of paper, and we turn it into art. Like it's a miracle. It's like I that's why I still love color mixing. Just seeing like how amazing is this. You take blue and you take this color or this color and you mix and you get this other color, and it happens in front of your eyes. I'm still still blown away by that. Um and 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 we are so powerful as an artist. I feel like it's something that we need to nurture. This is a skill that we need to nurture from a place of love, because imagine your art would be your friend, your partner, someone, and you could constantly say, but you're still not good enough, you're ugly, you're like, why are you still not this, like you're this, and all this negative stuff. They won't be your friends. And I feel like just because it's not a person, we treat this our skills and our art so poorly, and especially us, like when we talk ourselves down. But if you come from a place of love and support and curiosity and just compassion, and feel like, okay, um, what do I want to create today? How do I want to create today? What do I need today? What certain elements do I need to have in place to create the art I want to create? Like, for example, do you need music? Do you need to meditate first? Do you need to have a candle? Maybe you need your favorite snack around you. What do you need? Like, thinking about that, and treating it as like the sacred moment of creating your art. Because I think if you just treat it as something that you rush because you're just trying to like, I don't know, just get it done, be over with, it you won't be happy with your art. And then because the intention was off. Like if you set the intention to just have fun and to explore, to have a good an amazing amazing time to explore your um, creativity, then it's such a more it comes from a different place, and the energy is so different, and you will see that in your art, and it will help you to just realize how skilled you are, how amazing you are, and how beautiful it is what you create, and how amazing. And it's um so just be more mindful, and I think just being aware of your thoughts and how you feel and your tensions, and aligning everything, it's so important. mm, Dorca says, can you share how we can move away from the excuse me, let me drink something. I think it's Penny VL, right? I think that's how we are our own worst critics, but joining a supportive community helps, because people in the group sees the beauty in your work that you don't. Exactly. Because some of the students were saying that we always see our art as something that it's not, like it's what it should be. Like we look at something and why is it not better, or um, like we compare it to something it's not, instead of seeing it as it is and be amazed by it and showing it to others, or being in a community with other people. Everyone will see it, and they will show you that, "Hey, look at this, like this is amazing." You feel like you have this impression that you really found what really sparks joy for you, that you really are excited about. And not so like sitting by yourself and bashing yourself because it's not looks like someone else's painting. um yes. I felt like a miracle when I mixed gray for the first time. um Francis said, even if a painting doesn't turn out exactly as you wanted, does it really matter? We still learn something new, right? And that is wonderful. Exactly. Because if we don't paint, if we don't do things and like fail, whatever, we don't learn anything, because when you paint the painting and it doesn't turn out the way you want it, then okay, that's this is it's just a painting, and you had like ideas and maybe it didn't work, but it's just what it is. And instead of going in, oh, this means like I suck, I'm not good, but I'm still struggling with this, you treat it as just data and see, okay, maybe I just had a bad day today, but let me see with something that I can use next time. Because if you treat your art as something, okay, this is, let's see, I have like 10 minutes, let's do this, let's make this a masterpiece, again, the attention is completely off and you create the art from this rushed, unpeaceful place, and then you're just unhappy. But if you're like, okay, let's just play for 10 minutes, or just let's play paint and see what happens, and then you're like, oh, okay, looks so cool, maybe I should try this next time. Or um oh, this didn't work, I see, I used too much water here, or I used too little water, or I chose the wrong colors here. And it's just like you learn, you have this data to use, and you and change it up, and then your next painting, and not treat it as, oh, this is awful, what am I even doing? um because it's like when you like in life, when you don't have experiences that you are not happy with, you don't know what you actually prefer. Like if you have like a um like, I don't know, like if you were in a relationship where someone was just completely lying, and they were like, I don't know, just completely, I don't know, something, and then you saw someone who was like always honest, and always this amazing person, you're like, no, I don't like when people treat me like that. I see this person can treat me like this amazing, so like like so amazingly well, and things like that. Then you have this comparison. You don't bash yourself. Oh, why am I always like falling for these, or like, why are these people like that? You use that as, okay, this is, I now know I don't like that. This is not what I want. I realize I want this, and this is what I want, and this is, it's just data basically. And but we make it always so personal. um that is the problem, which I am also struggling with, is perfectionism. I'm always trying to tell me that it doesn't matter if the result is perfect, just go with the flow. Yeah, like perfectionism is just like, you're just afraid um to fail, and you try to over perfect, like you're waiting for, like, it's not completely perfect yet, let me tweak it, let me make it better, let's because you're afraid, like, what is it still not good enough? And again, it's this afraid, this feeling of not feeling good enough, or the feeling that you will fail. But if you like think like, but you're not really a perfectionist. Like if you think about, are you a perfectionist when you are brushing your teeth? You're not like, let me like let spend like 20 minutes, 50 minutes, like I don't think it's still perfect enough. You just like brush your teeth and move on. But or like you're making a tea or coffee, or you cook something, you just do it the way you do it, and you don't stress about it too much, right? So you're not a perfectionist, you're just having this fear to fail, and that's totally normal. But just realizing where it's come from, so you can treat it as, wait, I'm overworking this, I'm not painting, or I'm not finishing the painting because I see I'm probably again overthinking it, I'm afraid probably it won't turn out good. Okay, and then you can treat it as, I will put this aside, I will just finish that and see what happens. Because um again, awareness is so important, because then you can treat it as something like an outside thing, and being more neutral about how you move forward. um the answer is not such thing as wasting your supplies. As long as you're painting, you're learning, so it's not a waste. Can make an omelet without breaking some eggs. You can't spend hundreds on supplies and expect to create masterpieces with them immediately. You just gotta use the stuff to get better. Yes, exactly. That's why when I uh, encourage everyone to use better supplies, like quality supplies, I always get like this, yeah, but I'm not ready yet, I'm still not good enough to use those, I need to wait until I'm worthy of those. But you deserve to use or have the best, because why? It's like we had this conversation, I think, somewhere else, where people would had special towels, the fancy towels, or the fancy things. It's just for the guests. But you just use these old dirty, not dirty, all these old stainy or whatever, like very old towels, because the fancy one is just for the guests. But are you like, why are you like, don't you deserve, like, does it, are you saying you're not deserving of using those fancy towels? And it's just a towel. It's, you just turn it into a fancy towel. That's exactly how with supplies. It's just you made it into something like, this is sacred, and this is, create this whole meaning around this, is, I can't waste that. But it's just supplies, it's just tools to use to learn what you want to do. And if you learn something, this is amazing. Like, even if you're, again, if you're not happy, for example, with your result, you didn't waste your paper, you learned, okay, it's just, it it didn't work the way you want. It's not, it's like when you're not learning how to cook with dull knives, right? You, because how are you supposed to learn how to cook if you have dull knives, if you can't cut a tomato or whatever? um you don't wait until you're good enough to use a butter knife. mm, yes, do it for the process, exactly. Although supplies with high quality make the process a lot easier, which is why it's worth it. Exactly. Leanne says, also order of importance to invest in high quality paper, brushes, paint. Paint is actually the least important. Yeah. I think this is like, people start with paint and then use like, have like high quality paint and then use like printer paper, and that just doesn't align. Krista says, I've been breaking free from perfectionism, being too hard on myself, and over-analyzing. It's been a learning experience, simply enjoying my creative process. Yes, it's like I said, it's a habit. Like, we, if the habit is over perfecting, overworking because you're afraid to fail, or fail, you're afraid it won't be good enough, you have this tendency, like, but then you need to catch yourself, like saying, oh, I noticed now I'm going again into this overthinking, overworking, over perfecting. I'm going into my old pattern. Then you can catch yourself and stop that. It's like pattern interrupt, just stop it, like, stop it. I'm let's move on. It's like I could have also overplanned, overthink the whole life event here. And now not just schedule that. Let's just schedule, and then we'll see what happens. Instead of, okay, but maybe I should just be super prepared. Maybe I just need to create like whole announcement, and I don't know, just overthink, just instead of just going live. And I noticed that I'm overthinking, or when I create a reel or a post somewhere, I catch myself, oh, I've been sitting here and rereading it for 10 minutes. Now let's just post it. It doesn't really matter. Carla says, I'm really new into painting and it gets really frustrating because sometimes I don't know where to start. There are many courses available that I don't know where to look. For instance, start with Mako. Yeah, if you're a complete beginner, really go into the roadmap to watercolor painting course on my channel, not channel, on my website. If you go to macachino.com and then learn with Mako, I think that in the list you will find the roadmap course, and there's like, this is again, this is why I created that, because like I said, like you're so overwhelmed by all of this. You probably watched your all the YouTube tutorials, like movies. You probably like collect all the supplies everyone told you to get, and then you just, okay, I have YouTube, let's just learn, and then you realize, oh my gosh, there's so many techniques and so much. What where do I start? So that's why I have in the roadmap, it's like literally I walk you through step by step where you save your time. Like I think someone was saying that it's, they realize how inefficient they were when they tried to get started on YouTube, like, and figure things out. I mean, some people can do that and it's no problem, but if you realize, okay, I'm stuck, I need help, then this is what the roadmap is for. Um, Love the roadmap course with Mako. It's really good for beginners, and the course was well paced. Yes, exactly. So check it out. Shada says, eagerly looking forward to joining your course on watercolor. As soon as I get free, I will. So get free. Are you not free? Sounds like someone put you in a box and closed you or something. Okay, I think I covered all the 5 things that I want to talk about, and just trusted that everything comes out as will come out. And I was thinking, oh crap, like yesterday when I was walking myself through what I want to say, it was like amazing. And what if it won't be as good as today? And when I was talking today, I was like, oh, it was so much better when I was talking it through yesterday. But I was just, no, I'm not going there. I'm just keep on moving. And whoever hears it, they will hear what they needed to hear, and it's good enough. You're a new mother right now. Okay. Congratulations. While I paint, I always feel that I'm not perfect, or it has not turned out perfect. I felt I wasn't meant to do this, but then I found some motivation and keep going. Yeah, like I said that our brain always will look for confirmation to what we kind of subconsciously believe. Because if you already felt like maybe someone in the past told you that art is not your thing, you shouldn't be doing that, but you really kind of wanted to do it and you followed this instinct to just follow your art, but you still kind of like have this person in your head, you automatically go and look around. See, the painting didn't turn out the way I wanted, maybe I shouldn't, maybe they are right. So you kind of look for valid kind of ways to confirm what you already believe. But then again, if you start believing, no, I am good, like I can learn, I can practice, I can get better, because I also couldn't do this before, I couldn't do that before, now I can, so why couldn't I learn that? And then you will look for evidence that you can actually do it, and you see, wow, this is what I created, look, and I got better because 1 year ago I painted this way and now I painted this way, so I made progress, amazing. And then your brain starts to look for evidence that you're actually good, and then you will just reprogram your mind this way. I also brought some watermelon. I didn't eat that at all. Watermelon is one of my favorite fruits. So what's the roadmap course about, and where can I find information about it? It's on my website. If you go to makochino.com / I don't even know, makochino.com, and then you just go to learn with Mako in the menu, you'll see about the roadmap course to learn more about it. So it's literally just the foundation of watercolor painting, where I walk you through really the foundation of how, and not just like here how to mix colors, this is how you do this, and randomly it's really like everything's built like follows a certain plan and structure. So you go through the course and you know the foundation of how watercolor works, to realize this is how, you don't guess anymore, you know exactly this is how it is, like this is the science behind watercolors, this is how I need to do certain things, or this is what I need to do to avoid that. And it's not guessing, and then you can always build on that. But everything, like every painting, every watercolor painting you see, they're all built on the foundation. It might look very advanced, very fancy and whatnot, but they still use the same foundations. It's just in a more it just might look like they have practiced more, or they find a way how to combine certain things, but it's still the same. So it's not just like the secret portal where you have this secret library of how to do that. All right, so wow, it's already 1.5 hours. It's crazy. Let me make the music slightly quiet. Okay, let me see. So if you have any more questions about it or anything related to finding your style or just watercolor in general or anything like that, we can chat about it. Um, but I hope all the things that we talked about the mistakes or things I learned while I was trying to find my style helped. If you sum it up, it's stop believing that you don't have a style. You have a style. Just look at what you created so far. You will see a pattern, and don't treat it as something that you have lost, because you didn't. It's something that you already have, and you just need to cultivate this relationship with yourself and your skills and what you want to create, and be more third, maybe even more, be more intentional if you want to explore this even further, because you already have the preferences. You just need to follow them, not feel like it's like I don't know if you follow Demi Lovato or something. I love Demi Lovato. I grew up with her, and she started with like rock music, and this is what was making her happy. But people were like saying, no, you should go into pop. This is more popular. This is what you should be doing. And she said, okay, I will do that. But she completely lost herself, and she was completely miserable because she was like kind of forced from outside to do certain things instead of just doing what she truly wants to do. And now she's like um completely like ditched all her other management and whatnot, and said goodbye to her pop music, and now she's back to what she wants to do. And this is why it's important to not chase or um, get all the things from outside, but really tuning in, what do you want to do, and be intentional about and listening to that, and surrounding yourself with people that support you and bring you, like, help you, and even just be there with you, just witness you as you go through, and where you can just come and share what you've been working on, or if you have questions. It's so important to have those people, especially when you just like, I don't see anything, like I'm so close to what I do, can you help me and look at it. It's so important, and just like connecting and knowing that you're not alone. I think it's so important to also continue doing what you do, but also have more fun doing what you do, because then you're not focusing so much on um like finding your self-worth through outside things, but more like, but you realize you're good enough, and it's about connecting, having fun, exploring, and being happy, and being aligned with who you are, and just allowing yourself. The fifth is to allow yourself to evolve. You're not a static thing, your art is not a static thing, and you can't, it's so easy to lose yourself if you again come and listen to what others are saying, what you should be doing, how the algorithm tells you need to do things. It's so easy to lose yourself. But if you notice that, oh, I go back into my old patterns, um you you can catch yourself and be okay, like, what do I want to create, and am I bored with what I do I need to go back to something that really sparks joy, do am I on the right track here? And then you can, with curiosity, love, and fun, and the support system, just enjoy the journey so much more. And then it's just amazing how things can just become so different when you come from this place, and yeah, have the right energy behind what you do. mm, uh, uh, uh. I remember your streams like 4 years ago, and it's already kind of nostalgic. Maria Andre says, thank you for taking the time to chat with us. Take a long of a break as you need. Take as long of a break as you need. You will keep taking your painting retreats. We'll keep taking your retreats. Ah, that's so sweet. Yeah, like so many people were saying that, where are you, like, why are you posting videos? You should post videos. And I I just needed like seriously a break from that because um like I said, especially on YouTube, because it became such a whole big thing. um you It was so easy to look at, okay, what performs, and what should I do. And sometimes when I did something what I wanted to do, it didn't perform, and then it would on the back end would say, oh, people don't show interest in that, or you should maybe experiment, or maybe give it time. And it was all about fitting into a box. And I was in my when I took a break, I was like, I don't want to just like, I'm more than that. I don't want to just go back and just post tutorials again like I used to, because this I want to just paint and help people and talk, um and not worry about what will perform. How can I make it short, because people don't have attention span according to YouTube, so you need to be short. And I don't want to cut myself into like a little 5-minute clip. um and so that's why I don't know how I will do the YouTube tutorials, because it's not sustainable for me either. Because I know YouTube seems like, ah, you can just post on YouTube. Why don't you do it on YouTube? But there's so much work that goes into making a project, and sharing and teaching. And if you just make like, I don't know, $2 out of it, like you can't work 10 hours, 12 hours, and then you are struggling to pay the rent. So it's like, I understand that we're so used to YouTube being free and everyone's sharing things, but you never know, like maybe these people are having it as a hobby. Maybe they don't worry about paying their bills, or maybe they're just doing it for fun. But if it's this is your job, and you spend like 20 hours on one video that YouTube doesn't show to people, or it gets lost, and it's like you're trying to you're stuck on this hamster wheel that doesn't fulfill you anymore. It doesn't get you anywhere. So tuning in, and realizing that I love teaching and I love painting, but in a certain way. And like when I teach on Zoom classes, and see people, and I can have my time, and the fly time, like the time flies. Like we had 3 hours painting sessions, and we're like, where did the time go? Like we didn't notice, because we're just so in the zone. We are enjoying it, and we are painting and having fun. And this is much more rewarding for me, and also people that are taking the classes. They get lost in the process, they learn, they connect, they can see other people's paintings. And it's not you just by yourself watching a 10-minute video that it's edited, where it's too fast, where you don't even know what's happening. Then you feel bad about yourself, it's not didn't work. And then as the creator, you're like also not satisfied. So it's a complete soup of I don't know. um, so yeah, I'm grateful for everyone who joined my courses and retreats and membership. mm, Carrie said, would love to do a painting retreat, but it's a long way from Australia. I do them right now. They are all virtual, so you don't have to travel. This is the good thing. Like, I don't know. Excuse my camera falling asleep. That's the good thing about the online space. Like you, because if you take a class in person, it's much more expensive. Plus, you need to have travel costs, and also, yeah, travel costs. Plus, maybe you need to hotel or something. Um, uh, Dan says, yes, ignore the comments demanding more free YouTube content. Yeah, and I think this is where so much trauma also came from, if I just completely honest. It's where I think where when I first created my roadmap course, it was 2 years ago. I don't know, it was 2020, early 2020. And I was so excited, and I was like, this is exactly what people need. And I'm here. I created that, and people were upset. Like, why can't I just upload it on YouTube? And or when I started sharing more courses, and people were like, well, now you're ditching YouTube. Like, why are you not posting on YouTube? And you should do this on YouTube. Why do I have to pay for? Because everyone was so used to free content. It's like everyone, it's like YouTube is like this. Sometimes I think people treat all these artists and creators on YouTube as like free entertainment, and they forget that it's a job, like, for a lot of people. And it's so easy to get burned out if YouTube is the only thing. um so I got like super, like, I want to teach, I want to help, but I can't do it in the way I'm did the whole time, because at some point it completely burned out and it was not fulfilling anymore. um and hearing this voice, like, again, like this, um uh these like voices, like, you should be uploading it on YouTube. Why do I need to pay for this? Or like all this thing, uh like as if I'm not deserving, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy of, like, getting paid for my work. Or like, this is where I feel like artists need to, like, really, like, I guess that's why I'm so an advocate for people, for artists that undercharging, undervaluing their work. Because if we continue, because I know artists, they struggle, they compare themselves with these huge companies that have investors that sell stuff for like $5. And but as a small business, you can't do that. Like, it's not possible to pay your bills like that. um and sometimes you compete, like, some artists are always comparing themselves. But if we start valuing ourselves, we just see, like, no, this is it. Just because I'm not through surgery on the heart, it doesn't mean my work is not valuable. And I feel like even with art, like, people treat it as something, oh, it's just a painting. It's like not really, it's not nothing, like, okay, here you can have that, oh, $5, fine. But they don't realize how valuable that is. um mm, let's say here, trust the tea leaves, the treats are worth the money. Thank you. um Quite a few of us here in the comments have done them from all over the world. We would love to have a Teely in Australia. Sounds amazing. We'll definitely look into that. Thank you. um they need their chocolate bars to boost their sugar level. Yes, that's why I also think that, um like, when I started doing the retreats and things like that, people were saying that it was such a blessing, or this is such a gift, or this, we're so happy that this opportunity came up, and people found their tribe among those people. And I was like, wow, this is what I want to do. I don't want to post my videos in a, and I mean, this is how I found everyone. But at the same time, I don't want to continue just like posting into like this void, this where there's no real interaction. And it just, and then you have to continue uploading every week, and I don't want to get into burnout again. um uh, 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 as- uh should get paid. She is taking time out to help us all. Yeah, I think this is as an artist, especially, I feel like it's always like we need to justify ourselves. Like even explain, like, yeah, but she also has to pay the bills, and or something like that. Or, yeah, this artist also have to pay the bills. It's like even this concept that people have to explain themselves. I felt like you don't judge like a doctor or a lawyer or someone, a hairdresser or someone uh, working somewhere. No, it's a common practice that people are getting paid, right? But with artists, it's like, it's just like, it always feels like you need to justify, because it's not um treated as equal as something else, I feel like. And yeah, and this is what needs to change. Um, Thank you so much for your videos. They helped me so much with watercolor. Francis says, Mako gives so much of herself on all her courses. Yes, all her courses are so well prepared. Oh, thank you, everyone. Yeah, I think if you find something that you like to do and you know exactly where, how you, um, how you like how you can bring out yourself out of, like, because I realized I so enjoy like teaching when it's live, when I see people, because then I if it's like an energy exchange when we are on live here together. I'm not talking to myself on camera, then I have to go and edit that, but it's more like it's I something it brings out of me that it's not there when I'm just talking to my camera. And I feel like when I look at some older videos, it's I try to fit into some kind of um, form, box, format. I don't know, because this is how, because on YouTube again, this is you need to follow how it works, how you I don't know. This is how what you need to do so that your videos are performing well. This and blah blah, and you kind of have to. I never wanted to like become someone else, and I was not like I was still myself, but it had to like be like filled into this tiny box that you need to be in on YouTube. And I think when I teach uh on my classes, I've got the next retreat, for example, will be live, so it's not the pre-recorded videos. There will be um Zoom classes. I I'm so excited about this because when I thought about like filming those, I got like flashbacks how burnt out I was. So just coming on and sharing and talking and don't worrying about do I have all these fancy angles and fancy editing and stuff like that. It just takes all of it, and I'm just purely doing what I want to do, and whoever wants to be part of that, they can be part of it. And I think this is where we all kind of need to not need to, but like I feel like this is what our soul really desires. It's just we want to be ourselves, and we sometimes don't feel like how can I be myself? Like it doesn't fit this mold. It's not this. It's not that, and we lose ourselves again. But being in this place where you can just be, this is what I am, and I'm not changing myself. I'm not changing this. I just want to be myself, and it's possible. Um, and in the beginning, I also didn't understand like what does it mean to be yourself. Like because it's like it's also so common to say just be yourself, just be your authentic self. And it's like what does this even mean, like if you put on all these layers of how you need to be, how life is, and how you should do that, uh you don't even know who you are. Like you kind of you think you know, but you don't, because you don't realize how you do certain things from an unhealthy place, because again going back to from a place of you're not still not good enough. What if I don't belong? When people will notice me, will I then be part of that? And then when you realize no matter what you do, no matter uh, how well you work, how good no matter how good you look, no matter how skilled you are, no matter how much you achieved, no amount of that will ever make you feel like you're good enough, and you will always like always try to reach that. And because then you feel like them, then I will feel like I'm someone, like someone noticed me, or that I'm deserving, or I'm worthy, or I'm like good enough. And when you realize no, and there's no amount of that will ever make you feel this way, and there's no point in chasing that ever, you can't. It's kind of like you drop all your like heavy, like it's like you have these heavy bags in your backpack filled with all this heaviness, and you try to get the I climb this hill, like at some point, yes, soon I will be there. It's like at some point I will reach that, and I will feel like this way, and I feel this way, and I finally have that, and I feel, and then I will be that. And you realize no, that this is never ending, this mountain is never ending. And then when you like drop that, like you just like I don't have to go, like, I don't have to even go that mountain. I can just be here. I can just sit here. I can enjoy the view. I don't need that. And then it's so freeing. And I think this is what I wish more of us can experience, because I know it's so, so, like, how our society is built, or how it, like, it's a mental construct at the end of the day. And if we kind of let go of all of that, it can everything can be so much easier for everyone. He says, Mako, you always help me so much in my watercolor journey. Oh, that's amazing. Carrie says, no, you don't have to justify yourself. Yeah, and I think this is what I like saw Jenna, for example, Jenna Rainey, because she also posted like crazy amount of videos and put so much work into it and burned out. And then she moved on to Patreon, and she just said, like, it's not sustainable. I can continue doing that, deal with that. And she does. I was like, wow, like, she's so like, she just stated that, and there's um no reason to feel bad, or like you need to explain yourself. It's just like, that's not sustainable. I can't do that anymore. It doesn't even cover the bills, what I make. So I need to pivot. And that's just, wow, just so, like, so confident. And I'm not like, why am I like feeling like I have to explain myself, or this is, I have to feel bad about creating courses or something like that. You have such a wonderful way of presenting your watercolor. Thank you so much for the lessons. Oh, thank you. I am still living in Germany. Yes, I'm like I don't know where I would prefer to live, because I'm not like attached to living here, but I also like, I don't know. No place is perfect, and that's why I like traveling, because I like to see and learn and see how other people are living, and different cultures and different food and different mentality, just to broaden my horizon. Okay, I think I will go 8 more minutes, and then I think my voice is already fading. Do you have any more questions? I think I missed some earlier, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so if you ever feel like for example, in fall, we're gonna paint. I will have my retreat, a virtual retreat, yeah, starting October, and I'm excited about, because we get to paint together, and I can take my time to teach and really share the behind the scenes, because I know some people are like, oh, the tutorials on YouTube always go so fast, and stuff is cut out, and people also don't really share fully all the thoughts. And I feel like when I do my live classes or my tutorials outside of YouTube, I can have this time to like explain what I'm doing, and I feel this is so much more valuable than stuffing everything in like 5 minutes just so you have a YouTube video to upload. So yeah, like, you can see a little traumatized. So, but uh like I'm just focusing on helping and just doing it and just trusting, just surrender and trusting, and I don't doubt. An idea for your last few minutes, if you have them to hand, you can show the early versions and the later versions of the waterfall painting we did. It's helpful for everyone who thinks they need to paint perfectly first. I'm not sure if I have them here. I think I put them somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where I put it, but I shared it on Instagram. Well, it's gone, but see. Are you guys still on Zoom, by the way? The tea leaves. Um, here, I think I have them here. I had painting from the fire I was creating, like this is one of the paintings I will be painting on this live virtual retreat. Um, yeah, we haven't watched, like, this is like the tea leaves are like they're so supportive. They come together on Zoom to watch me together. How amazing is that? I'm so grateful. So the fire, this is from the retreat, but I last time we painted a waterfall, so this was my waterfall. And this, like, we had two versions. These were the last two ones that I created. But the very first version, let's see about this or this, I don't know which one I like more. The first one was like that. I started with this. Like I said, like I started with like random testing and figuring out, just really random and very, very just it's kind of like ruining the first page and just like, okay, the worst case scenario has happened, you can move on. And I looked for different elements what I wanted to use in my painting, and realized, oh, I liked I don't like these colors. I like these other colors. This I used too much water. This maybe I did something incorrectly that I didn't want. I tested some ways how I can do certain things. And then I think this one, the next, then I tried different techniques, salt, some, like, I tried with these trees and just like played around and saw like elements, different little elements that I liked or didn't like. And I looked for, again, clues, like what sparks joy, what doesn't, what works, what doesn't. And then I had like something like that. And I really liked how some of the water sparkled here, and I liked how this brownish blue color looked. This is kind of like I gave up. I just didn't bother at all. So I just played around and just explored. And then, but I again caught myself where I was too hung up on this reference image that I had. So I had the reference image that I wanted to my painting to like I had a reference that I wanted to paint, and I caught myself being too fixed on this painting or this reference, and I forced it so much that I was, okay, let's remove myself from that. Let's just use it as a reference to just inspire my painting. Just like some they have the idea of the composition and the color slightly and just the theme. And then I just let go of all of that. And the next painting was that. Where I just let go. I had music on. I just relaxed and just started painting. Just let go of. I stopped looking at the reference, just slightly, maybe like, okay, I have darker colors here. This is more lighter, and then just really enjoyed that. And this was the other attempt where that I was teaching. And sometimes you can see that when I teach, it's, again, I'm too much in my head and I have to explain, so it doesn't flow out as well. But at least I get my techniques across, or the philosophy behind things, show different techniques, so then you can take those and incorporate into your art. So it's not about we meet together and then let's create like lots of copies of myself, but more like, okay, these are techniques I discovered that really worked to create that, and this is my idea behind it. This is why I did that, and you can use them or don't use them. But I always show like these are the techniques and this is the plan, but I always encourage everyone to just follow their intuition and just paint how it comes out, like how it turns out. And especially when it's a live painting session, it's um, you can just come together. It's you have this date with others and myself, and you can use this time to just put paint to paper, just paint. Not because sometimes when you have a course and you know it's waiting on the shelf, it's already intimidating, you kind of procrastinate, you overthink, can I really do it? And then all of a sudden it's like 1 year later and you still haven't done that. So with like a live party, you can just show up because everyone else is there and just have fun. Like it's a day with just to have fun, and then you can learn techniques and use it in your own way and just let it out at your own time how you want to paint that, and by incorporating some elements, but not okay, this is the goal how she painted. It's never that. um how do you get your color so opaque like it looks like a photo? Just you need to use a lot of pigment. Jamie says, yes, thank you for your roadmap course, all your videos. They continue to inspire me. Continue being you. Oh, thank you, Jamie. The fire painting is so beautiful. I've always wondered how people paint fire. Yeah, this was um this was just a test painting, but I again was just trusting myself that I have everything that I need right now to paint something. Because sometimes we think, oh, I'm not ready yet. Uh, I'm not good enough yet, maybe, or I'm not ready yet. I'm still like in the beginner stage. But sometimes you just um, need to trust yourself that you already have enough skills to create the painting, and you always will always evolve. You'll always get you improve your skills and techniques, and you fine tune them. And sometimes uh, something clicks, like when you struggled with color mixing or water and paint control, at some point it clicks more and more. That's why I still go back to like reading and watching and learning about color mixing and different techniques, because even like if there's one sentence an artist says um, that makes everything else fall into place, it was all worth it. Because um, sometimes we have all these books and knowledge, and we know, and it's like it's all over the place and we kind of think we know, but then once you go back and give your time to percolate in your brain, and as you paint it will get more and more clear, so you already have all the knowledge to create a painting in this stage of your journey. So don't wait for like until you're better to paint something. Just see if you see something that you really want to learn how to paint, and even if it looks more advanced or something, or you feel like you're not ready, just go for it. Just like, even if it would complete disaster, you would still learn something new. You had fun. You scheduled some time with yourself. um Joe says the behind the scenes part is so fascinating. We always see the final perfect painting, and knowing that not everyone's initial painting is the ultimate version. Yeah, I need to share more of that. Then I kind of like always share, like, even if you're subscribed to my emails or follow me on social, I showed like my stack of projects I created for my book that didn't go didn't get into the book, or like 5 million versions of the same thing, because I tested out different ideas. Um, Dora says, "Hello, Mako. I really enjoy watching and hearing you. What is your advice for people which live in countries that don't appreciate art?" Um, well, you have the online world. Like, I live in Germany, but it's not like I don't go out and talk to people and like, why are you not appreciating art? Like what's wrong with you? It's more like, okay, this is. I just focus on. We have so many tools to reach out around the world. You don't have to be limited to where you are. Like, it's maybe in the past it was a problem, but now we are so global. You have the internet. You like, you might not like, I, because I'm work from home, I'm not going to work somewhere, and I don't uh, have these interactions with people like others like every day. And sometimes you kind of forget that you live in Germany, or you forget that you live in a certain place because you're so in the online world, and then everything is so global. So I don't really care if people around me understand art. um Even my parents, like, I think now they're supportive, but back then they're just scared or worried. But if you see online people are appreciating art, they want to pursue art, or they want to discover it even further and nurture that, then you say, wow, life can be that way. Like, it's so amazing. There are people who are supportive. There are people who love art and appreciate art. um there's, for example, I live in Greece, and even though we have great history in arts, people now don't put much thought on them nowadays. They always think that artists are slackers, and you can see that when they find out you are one. What is your take on that? Well, try to become an artist. You will notice, and like um they just, like, from my point of view, to become an artist full time, for example, or even just to become your own boss, um it's there's no time where you don't think about it, don't work for it. It's nonstop work sometimes, or like it used to be for me. Like, I was just completely in it. I was like, for, I think, like when I started my YouTube channel, even before, I already wanted to become my own boss, and become an artist and creative, and just figure, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do something on my own. And um just being like self-employed was just like, I just don't want to go to work, and like, you're just lazy, probably. You just avoid working. You just want to like do fun stuff, and I just needed to continue doing what I wanted to do, because this is much harder than, it takes much more work, much more. I don't like, every work requires work and stuff, but but you, because you say people think it's a slacker, like, I think especially when you want to develop into a business or something, or um it's it's you, it's so much work to do that. So and I think they're just having their worldview, and this is what they're seeing, how life should be. This is what means to work hard. This is what people who work hard do. And if they see this is an artist who just paints, and oh, they're just having fun, little fun here, it should be doing something more important, and it's just there. Maybe they are just threatened by you, actually, that because you are pursuing something fun and something that you want to do, and that it challenges their worldview, like saying, like, how can a person paint and create art? Like, you should be like this sophisticated lawyer, doctor, or engineer, someone, uh, and seeing someone does something else, it kind of threatens their worldview. So I think um, it's just, I feel like I wouldn't take everything so seriously, because at the end of the day, everyone has their own, like as we started, everyone has their own model of reality, and we constructed it in our own way from our own perspective. So everyone has their own issues, some fears, and um, even things that they're not, no one's like, we have so many blind spots, and we just sometimes operate from this autopilot mode. But if you think about it, like, everyone was just to be happy, enjoy their lives, and just uh, have a good time on this planet. But we all make our lives so much more complicated. And knowing that I'm just focusing on myself, like, I want to, and not in a selfish way, but more like, uh, one second, not in a selfish way, but more like, I'm here, like, this ride on this planet is very short, and I have no time to waste in fitting into a mold or living a life of someone else. I want to explore myself. I want to do what brings me joy, and then I can also help others this way. Because if you feel miserable, if you feel uh like, I don't know, you're just, I don't know, just unhappy, then it affects everyone else. Like, if, for example, if you have children, and you are completely burned out all the time, you working this all the time, you're fighting with your husband or wife or something like that, then this child will see that. And I think it's so important to realize that how we feel, how we think, and how we operate from, it creates a ripple effect everywhere. um Thank you so much for answering my question. It's true. The only online world saves my business hobby and my psychology too. Yeah, I think it's so interesting. I think that it's also because um, this is the concept where when I was studying cultural studies, where you realize that, or I realized that there's no right way of living. There's no right way of doing anything. There's just multiple versions of different things, and just because people live in the forest somewhere and they don't have computers, it doesn't mean they're stupid and they're not civilized. It's just that this is how people live and they're happy this way. It doesn't mean you're better or they're worse or something like that. It's just different way. Or um like the way of definitions of different things. People see things differently and live differently. Someone thinks like you should do something that you love for a living. Some people say no, but you work shouldn't be fun. Like that's why it's work. And you realize, well, everyone has their own like interpretations and ways of doing things. So having this awareness alone already helps you to see, no, this is just one version. I don't want to be part of that. I will create my own version. And I see this person is happy. This person is doing this cool thing, and why can't, if they can do it, I can do it. And in being exposed to all of these possibilities, it will really allow you to create the life you want. And yeah, it completely detach yourself from what others are saying. Um, yeah, so you can see I can ramble for like over 2 hours. So, but I hope you enjoyed. Can you put links to your roadmap course and retreats? Let me Google my website. Let me check this out. So here's the link. You can find my book there. You can find the roadmap course there. The past watercolor retreat, the ocean blues, the where did the beauty and bloom go? Actually, disappeared somewhere. Need to find where it went. Yeah, where did the thing? I also had the beauty and bloom there, but it's gone. Need to find it, but it's there somewhere. So yeah, they can find all the courses and get on the wait list to the virtual retreat. Yeah, so this is there. Yeah, I'm not I'm going to do admin stuff while I'm live. Hello to Egypt. Wow. So I really hope you enjoyed this live stream and hang out with me. I just wanted to ease into just not worrying, because I actually I did a live stream a few months ago where it was just I answered questions, and I saw like 700 people unsubscribed, and I was like, okay, why? Just because they don't want, like, I don't know, but I don't. I just want to create like I just want to show up and do things that um, comes from a place of this is from inspiration and thinking about if I will only help like even just one person, that's everything. That's already good enough. I don't worry about um like if people unsubscribe or if they don't watch. Like I don't want to treat it anymore like that. My happy place are my Zoom classes and retreats and things like that, and not feeding a machine that just makes you feel miserable, and creating community just of people who are amazing. So yeah, and I'm so grateful for everyone who still here or just joined and sitting with me here. I really appreciate your time and that you spend your time with me. And happy water brushing to all. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening or morning. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And I'll see you at another time. Maybe the tea leaves should do a live stream when we are next when we meet next month in September. We have a meetup. We should do a live stream. We can talk about how like I don't know about anything, and share it with the world and just share the joy. I think this is what I I think people need to see more of, is that because sometimes I'm like, why? And like years ago, I was thinking, why do people share like random stuff like their ice cream, their food, or that they are somewhere on vacation? And then I realized later, like I actually enjoy looking at things that um like be part of the joy. Like I follow a person, she shares like all little things like throughout her life, and she's always like shares it from a place of gratitude and joy, and I can be part of that. And I feel like people need to see more joy in what's how happy life can be, or how amazing people are, and how our world isn't such an awful place, how the media makes it look. Um, and we can all create like this place of, no, let's not focus on all of this, that all the news or whatever like pushing down our throats, and this is how everything is awful. But like look for nice, all these little miracles and moments of happiness and joy, and share it with the world, because this gives hope for people, and also shows that things are amazing. um Leanne says, "Oh my god, yes!" So amazing. So we're gonna do a live stream. So I'm excited. Um, mm, mm, mm. Thank you for this talk. Bye and have a great time. Thank you. Enjoy your day, Mako. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. Otherwise, I will be rambling for another hour. But it was nice chatting with you and just sharing things. And if you have any other topics or ideas that you can talk about, um, just let me know. So have a wonderful evening, morning, whatever time it is. And I can't wait to see what you create now that you know you have a style, and you just have to have fun with it when tea leaves go well. Exactly. So yeah. Bye everyone. Thank you again.